Okay. So we all have those shows that we just hate watch, right? You know they're so horrible, but you just keep watching them. Sometimes because you think they're going to get better, sometimes just because it's like, how bad is this going to get? And then there are ones where you watch them for one specific thing. One thing. And that's all you're waiting for. That's the only reason you're watching it. I just finished a show like that. I was watching it for one character. One character. And then, of course, he didn't show up until the end. And when he did show up, I mean, he was still great. It was awesome. But then they did some things with him that I just hated. Anyway, in case you're wondering what show I just finished watching, what could possibly make me feel like, what could I dislike this much? It's She-Hulk. Yeah, I made a horrible decision. I regret everything. I watched She-Hulk. The only reason I watched She-Hulk was because I knew Daredevil would be in it. And being a huge fan of Daredevil, I wanted to see him brought into the MCU. Yeah, he doesn't show up until the second to last episode. And then, of course, they make him and She-Hulk / Jen Walters do it. Like, why? It was unnecessary, and why the heck did that happen? I hate them as a couple. They knew each other for a day, and then they did it, and then it's implied that they're still a thing, and I don't like them as a thing, and now I'm scared that because they're a thing in the new Daredevil show, she's then gonna make an appearance or whatever, she's gonna be referenced or make an appearance or something, and I hate it. I really hate this relationship, and I'm really mad at them for making it a thing. Anyway, Charlie Cox still did an amazing job as Daredevil. I still love him as Daredevil, but I just hate that they had to make them in a relationship. I'm also not a huge fan of the suit, like the yellow on the suit. I'm not the biggest fan of that. His all red suit is way cooler. But anyway, that's just the tip of the iceberg with this show. Not only is it just poorly written, not only is the CGI not the best, but I literally hate every flippin' character in this show. Everyone sucks. It's the most feminist in a bad way show I have ever seen. It's awful. The male characters are either stupid or non-existent. Like, all of the heroes in this show are girls. Like, we have, obviously, She-Hulk. We have her paralegal. I don't even remember her name. I think it's Nikki. We have that other lawyer lady. We have Titania. What the heck is Titania? I hate her so much. She's got this nondescript power. I think it's super strength, but I don't know. They never actually say it. And she's just the most annoying villain I have ever had the misfortune of having to watch on screen. The only, male protagonist in this show is that one guy lawyer that we see, who's an idiot. And it makes me really sad because I'm pretty sure the guy is the same actor who plays Prometheus in Arrow, who is an amazing character. And they just take him and it's like, oh, he's a great actor. He can do this cool. Look what he did with Arrow. No, we're going to make him an idiot who does nothing. It's so annoying. I hate it. And her boss, what little we see him, is kind of an idiot. And all the other guys that show up are just evil. Like, we have a group of guys show up that try to steal her blood. Then we have the guy who pretends to be into her to get her blood / blackmail her. All of the guys are just the worst humans on the planet. Except the one guy who should be. They brought back Abomination. I love it. I'm like, oh, Abomination is back. We're going to get an explanation for why he's in the Fight Club in Shang-Chi. And she's going to have to go through this whole moral dilemma of, oh, do I actually defend him and try and get him parole? And then him having, I kind of imagine that Abomination comes back and can be this big villain, like the overarching villain. But no! They literally ruined his character. It takes 5 minutes for her to accept his case, because they turned him into some meditation nut, and I hate it. I hate it so much because they just, this character that we built up in the Hulk movie, in the Incredible Hulk movie, we're just gonna nope, not a thing anymore, because Blonsky was already a little bit of a psycho before he got the super soldier serum, and then later became Abomination. So he was already kind of a villain, and then adding that onto it just made him more of a villain, because now he was also a monster, and he's just not anymore. And I get he spent years in jail, but he's just good now. I hated his character so flippin' much, and it made me sad. And their explanation for why he was fighting Wong and Shang-Chi was really, really disappointing. It was so disappointing. And we get Wong. Wong is not quite portrayed right in this series. Is not quite Wong. And I mean, it's close, but I feel like there's something off, and he's a little more, he's a little annoying, which he shouldn't be, but he is. And so that, and then their explanation literally just being, oh, Wong's gonna, in order to be the Sorcerer Supreme, I have to prove myself by fighting a very, a formidable foe. So I'm gonna choose the guy, Abomination, this guy that's in jail. I'm going to break him out of jail, battle him in a fight club, and then put him back. I'm just going to kidnap Abomination. One, there are other enemies he could have fought. So why on earth would he do that? Second, it just makes me mad, because then it leads into, him playing I came back willingly. I want to be here so I can get parole. And it's like, yes, but ah! Okay. So yes, I hate every single character in this series. series, except Wong, because he's only slightly off. He's a little annoying, but it's fine. And Daredevil. I hate what they do with Daredevil, but it's fine, because him as a character is still on point, and I love it. The other character in this show that I loathe with every fiber of my being is the super suit guy. He is literally the worst. I hate him. I don't like the sound of his voice. He sucks. And it's really sad because if you watched the original Daredevil show, you know where he got his suit previously. And that character is so much better. I love the guy who makes his suits in the Daredevil series. He is the greatest. In season 2, I cared more about his life than I did about Matt's. He was the best. And now we replace him with this, fashionista guy who is literal. He can burn. That character can burn. I hate him. Especially because he's responsible for the red and yellow suit, which I don't like. I'm sorry for ranting, but I can't with anyone in this show. They all suck. Even Bruce. I don't like Bruce Banner in this. His character isn't quite right, and so he's a little annoying, and also the fact that Jen goes, I can control my anger because I get catcalled, and I have guys who, only see me for my looks and blah, blah, blah at work and on the street, whereas Bruce Banner Okay, for those of you who have watched the Incredible Hulk movie, you know what he's been through. Besides everything that we see in the other movies of the MCU. He is literally hunted by the government. He is literally on the run with his love interest. And then he goes through so much freaking trauma and spends a decade learning how to control his anger and finding a balance between him and the Hulk. And then in one episode, we have Jen figure out how to control it and is immediately better at it than him. And her explanation is getting catcalled. That's her explanation. I hate it. I hate it so much. And then on top of that, her breaking the fourth wall. No, I didn't like it. It sucked. It was awful. I hate that she was breaking the fourth wall. And the only Marvel character in my mind who is allowed to break the fourth wall is Deadpool. Because it makes sense for him. He's kind of insane. But She-Hulk is not. And I hate that she breaks the fourth wall. Because, it gets so much worse. At first she's just talking to the camera. Whatever. Just I'll get over it because it doesn't happen that much. But the finale. I have never hated a finale to a show more than I did this one. Because not only do they decide, let's just bring in literally every character that we have met in this entire series, every villain, every idiot guy, everyone. We're going to bring them all to the one place, and including Bruce, who's apparently in space the rest of this time, for the rest of the series. He's in space. So she's just, literally everyone shows up at Blonsky's, like, meditation retreat, which is also super annoying. Just, he starts a meditation retreat and just... Anyway, they try and bring in everyone, and it's super messy, and was like, okay. And then she acknowledges it, and like, cool, they're acknowledging how bad this is. But then they decide, let's drop a Disney Plus menu in front of it, showing all the Marvel shows and stuff. And she's talking while this is happening. Like, she sees this menu, and then she breaks out of the picture for her own show, goes into another show, hunts down the producers of her show and starts telling them off, then breaks into the Marvel Studios to find Kevin, who, in your brain, when they say Kevin, you think like Kevin Feige, who's in charge of all of the Marvel shows. No, it's literally just a robot who is writing the plot lines for the shows. And she just talks to this robot to change the plot of her show, and then just goes back into the show, and they don't explain, and it's a time skip, and they don't explain how they got to that time skip, and she's just, everything's okay now. But she literally breaks the fourth wall. Climbs into a different show, which is like a behind-the-scenes thing, so it's in reality. So we just have She-Hulk walking around Marvel Studios, trying to change the ending of her show. And it's not even a better ending. It's really not. Ah, crap. There we go. But just... It's literally the worst finale I have ever seen in any show, in any fandom. It makes me so pissed. And I'm so mad at myself for just putting myself through that. It's like a good 2 to 3 hours I will never get back in my life. But yes, I hated everything about this show. Everything pissed me off. Every character, every story, all the fourth wall breaks, the finale especially. Just every decision made in this show was not a good one. So, if I were to rate this show, 0 out of 5 stars. I would never recommend this to anyone for any reason. I will actively avoid seeing this show again. I have never, ever felt this strongly about a show. Negative, anyway. It's flippin' bad. The CGI wasn't even great. Like, the CGI wasn't even that good. This is freaking Marvel Studios, and the CGI wasn't great. Just, they had Daredevil do a flip, and it wasn't great. It almost looked like the Flash or Arrowverse level CGI, which is, if you've seen any shows in the Arrowverse, sucks. That's how bad it was. And on top of that, they put in like little post-credit scenes that were meaningless. And they made a post-credit scene just straight up her twerking. And as She-Hulk, the CGI isn't great. And it's just horrifying. Why? Those are my thoughts when I finished that show. Was just why? Why was this a thing? Why was this a thing? Because we go from Moon Knight, which is the apex of the Marvel shows. It is amazing. I love Moon Knight so much. And then we go to She-Hulk. Like, the quality of the shows dropped so quickly. Went from my favorite show to my least favorite show of all time. Pull yourselves together, Marvel. Oh my gosh. Haven't had a lot of great projects from you recently. Miss Marvel wasn't all that great. We had, like, Thor, Love, and Thunder. Its only saving grace was Christian Bale. And then we have, like, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever coming out, which honestly doesn't pique my interest all that much. Like, I'm not really looking forward to any Marvel stuff, really. Which normally, there's like 7 movies that I know of that Marvel's coming out with that I'm super excited for. There are none right now. There's literally nothing coming out in Marvel in the near future that I actually want to go see. Just because of how things are going right now. Quality is just tanking and it sucks. It really sucks because I love the Marvel Universe. But it's just... Yeah. There's my little rant about She-Hulk and how much I loathe this show. If you agree with me, feel free to throw your own rants in the comments. What did you hate about this show? I'd love to hear more things. If you haven't watched it, don't. Just don't. It is not worth the 3 hours it takes or something that it takes to watch it. That's another thing that I just remembered. All the other Marvel shows are like 6 episodes, tops. This one was 9. This was the longest Marvel show, and it was the worst. Take a hint, Marvel. Go back to writing good stuff like Moon Knight. And like WandaVision and Loki and Infinity Saga. I miss all that. So yeah. Hopefully now, having said all of these things and gotten them off my chest, I will be able to think about literally anything else for a while. Yep. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Drop your suggestions in the comments. And I'll see you all next time.